I love Twitter because I'm in the media business. If you don't use Twitter, I can describe it in one sentence. It's like Facebook, but just the status update line. That's it. And you're limited to 140 characters, so you've got to keep it short and sweet, which is perfect because you can use it like your own news ticker. You can follow the 100 news sites or individual reporters that you want little updates from throughout the day. You can follow politicians, you can follow celebrities or sports heroes. So you can become your own editor or curator, as the Silicon Valley jargon will put it. Of course, you can also follow your real life friends too, but most people do that on Facebook. Here's a graph that the Globe and Mail put together showing how many people use Twitter at least once a month versus Facebook. Twitter is the lower number. Now, any website in the world is going to look small next to Facebook. That's not my point. The point is that Twitter isn't growing very well. They seem to have maxed out at 320 million people. Facebook just keeps getting bigger. Twitter isn't. And of course, people spend an enormous amount of time on Facebook, almost 2 hours a day, if you can believe it. With Twitter, it's about 10 minutes a day. In the era of dot-coms, you grow or you die, and Twitter is dying. And here's its stock price over the past year, from a high of about $53 down to its current state at about $15. Now, I do not know why Twitter is stalled. I don't know, but I know what I love about Twitter, the freedom of it. Freedom to follow whomever I choose to follow. I don't have to follow the tastes of anyone else. You can mix and match. I follow people I love and read loyally. I also follow people I don't love at all, I don't like at all, people I want to be warned about. Environmental extremists, for example. I follow some foreign news sources too. And Twitter has a built-in translator, so I can read things in Russian or Arabic or German, at least well enough to understand them. I don't have to have my news filtered through someone else who wants to spin me. Or I can choose to hear the spin if I want. I'm telling you this so you understand Twitter's value to me. I'm my own boss, really. My own editor, curator, chooser, filter. I don't have to read what anyone else tells me to read or some social justice warrior says I can't. I can follow comedians who are crude. I'm my own boss. And of course, I can tweet out to whomever wants to follow what I say. Friends, foes, strangers, whatever. So it's not just giving me freedom, it's giving me equality of opportunity. I have something, if it's smart or funny to say, I could attract thousands of followers, maybe even millions. I mean, it's possible. So freedom of speech for me, and freedom to choose for followers. And if you don't like something or someone, no problem. Just don't follow them. You can even block them, so you never have to hear from someone again if they irk you. As Kate McMillan of Small Dead Animals always says, no one is harassed on the internet without their permission. I mean, you can always just click away or just turn the thing off. So here's my point. You have an amazing technology that has changed media and conversations and has truly unlocked the interconnectivity of the internet, the democratizing and leveling effects of it, letting grassroots people communicate without having to go through elites or bosses or hierarchies. I love it, and 320 million other people do too. But it's not growing, so there's a business problem. And Twitter has gone through a lot of corporate shakeups. Lots of senior executives shown the door. And Twitter's founding guru, Jack Dorsey, brought back in as the CEO. So what's his vision? How does he save the company that has lost 2/3 of its value on the stock exchange in a year? How does he grow it, save it, make it thrive? What a challenge. And I have no idea. I'm not that smart. I don't know what to do. But I think I have an idea of what not to do. Don't become a censor of ideas. Don't end the freedom to speak and the freedom of choice to listen. I mean, isn't that Twitter's DNA? In the past few months, we've seen some disconcerting clues that Twitter was planning to do just that. Twitter has been used by Islamic State terrorists to promote their violence and recruit followers. They were using that distributed grassroots power of Twitter for evil, and Twitter rightfully cracked down on that. I mean, that's terrorism. But in the past few months, Twitter has started to clamp down on peaceful ideas that are merely offensive, not criminal. Here's their abusive behavior policy. I mean, good idea. We have that on our website too. You don't want people making violent threats. That's their first point, as you see. But look at the second point, abuse and harassment, which is defined in a circular way. Harassing someone is defined as getting people to harass someone. Abusing someone means to send abusive messages. Doesn't really tell you what it means. A threat of violence, I get that, I know what that means, but harassment on the internet is not defined. So it's been taken over by social justice warriors beavering away at Twitter headquarters in San Francisco, the most liberal city in America. They're the ones who implement this vague policy. So they've started to define harassment and abuse as conservative ideas they don't like. Our friend Milo Yiannopoulos, a columnist with Breitbart London, was disciplined by Twitter for having anti-feminist views, even though he himself is a socially liberal gay man. Accounts like Christina Lila, an Armenian Christian who writes about Islamic violence, she's repeatedly shut down by Twitter's social justice warriors. Do you see a theme here? Well, that kind of talk was just for people wearing tinfoil helmets and muttering about the Matrix, right? I mean, conspiracy theories about censorship, right? Well, no. You see, yesterday, Jack Dorsey made his big reveal for fixing Twitter, for growing his user base, for finally taking on the big boys at Facebook. He announced that Twitter is going to officially bring in a censorship policy, and he has actually appointed a board of censors. That's his master plan for turning the stock price around and getting 100 million more followers. Tell people what they can or can't say or even hear. Look at this. Twitter stands for freedom of expression, speaking truth to power, and empowering dialogue. That starts with safety. Say what? Freedom of expression, I get that. That means free to say things without limits or infringements or restrictions. I get that. Speaking truth to power. I know what that means. That means literally offending the official order, the official view. Speaking truth to powerful people in a way they don't like. I get it. Empowering dialogue. Okay, we're getting a bit fuzzy here now. I take it to mean that Twitter gives anyone the power to talk back at powerful people, so anyone can say anything to anyone. It's not official people talking and the rest of us having to listen. So I get all that. But then he closes with, that starts with safety? What? Safety? Safety from what? I'm on the internet. I'm an adult. Safe from what? I get making things kids safe on the internet, screening out obscenities or violence or pornography or protecting minors from predators. I get that for kids. But Twitter is talking about safety for grown-ups. That's not a thing. I mean, the internet is not unsafe. Twitter is not unsafe for grown-ups. I mean, we already have laws against crimes. Offensive ideas aren't crimes. Safety on the internet is a fake idea. It means keeping your feelings safe. It's the counterfeit human right not to be offended. That's not a thing. And Twitter is proposing this? Well, if you click on the link in Jack Dorsey's announcement there, it goes further. It says, Happy Safer Internet Day. I'm not making this up. We're pleased to announce the inaugural members of our Trust and Safety Council. Hang on, a Trust and Safety Council? Is this a joke? So now Twitter, it was about not trusting bosses, about not having councils and filters and better people telling you what to think. They're actually about that now, a trust council. What does that mean? That we have to trust them to filter what we say in here? Or does it mean that they don't trust us to make those decisions for ourselves? I have my own trust council, Jack. It's me. If you want to have a kid's version of Twitter, like Net Nanny or whatever they're called, great. Kids Twitter, where parents can feel safe that their kids won't see anything other than Barney the dinosaur. I'm not a kid though, Jack. I don't need parental controls. If I wanted that, I'd watch the CBC or read the Toronto Star or other dying legacy media that are built on the notion of elites telling me what to hear and think. Okay, let's go one level deeper down into this goofy rabbit hole. Let me quote, to ensure people can continue to express themselves freely and safely on Twitter, we must provide more tools and policies. Is that how it works? More rules and regulations? Yeah, for safe speech maybe, not for free speech. And look at their list of experts that they've signed up. Let's start from the top, the Anti-Defamation League. Once upon a time, they were a pro-Jewish group. Now they're a pro-liberal group. Just an example. Here's a recent press release from them. ADL condemns Donald Trump's hate speech and stereotyping. Oh, so that's hate speech. That's what speech safety is about. So Donald Trump, the leading candidate for the Republicans, I mean, you don't have to agree with him. Many Americans don't. You don't have to like him one bit, but his views are hate speech to be condemned, are they? Huh. Or this group, Feminist Frequency. Radical feminists who became famous for their censorship of video games that they didn't think were feminine enough. Look, these groups aren't about safety. Paramedics are about safety. Life jacket companies, oven mitt companies, safety goggles companies, that's about safety. These people are about political safety, which isn't a thing. That's Orwellian language for censorship. From a hard left-wing point of view, there's even a group on their new council called the Dangerous Speech Project. I was so excited when I saw that because it sounded edgy, counterculture, hip, dissident, like some, guerrilla marketing agency, something I'd like to join. I mean, I like our name here, The Rebel, but you could call our company the Dangerous Speech Project. That's sort of cool because we want our speech to have trajectory, to upset the order of things, to cause a fuss, to take on the establishment, cause people to rethink assumptions. That is always dangerous to the existing order, often offensive, but no, they didn't mean the phrase Dangerous Speech Project in some ironic, hip way. They really mean it. They think there's such a thing as dangerous speech, and they want to ban it. And Twitter just brought them into the company. I'm serious. Look, I love Twitter. I use it every day. I follow almost 1,000 people, and 40,000 people follow me, all of which is voluntary. If someone feels my ideas are dangerous, they can, what's the word again? Not read it. That's what they don't have to read what I have to say. Or maybe they follow me precisely because they like to read dangerous words and think for themselves like grown-ups sometimes do. That's the secret sauce that made Twitter so great. No filters, no elites, no councils, just people being free. I'm pretty sure that kids' Twitter is not going to turn the company around, but that's actually not even quite accurate, is it? There will still be plenty of vicious abuse on Twitter, just always from the left, aimed at the right. Hey, no problem, Jack. I mean, call it liberal Twitter or leftist Twitter. I mean, I'll stay on as long as I can before I'm banned. I love it for now. Who knows? I might even be banned even just for saying the things in this video. And Twitter's stock price will probably fall. It could still fall in half again, I'm guessing, if everyone to the right of center says, yeah, Twitter is now just for liberals. This is a free speech disaster. And I think it's going to be a corporate disaster. But hey, who's smarter, Jack Dorsey or me? He is, of course. He's the billionaire, the serial success story from Silicon Valley. Maybe he's actually making a brilliant corporate play. With his new Truth and Safety Council, maybe he's preparing Twitter for entry into the Chinese market, where it is currently banned by the government for being too free. Jack could lose every single American and Canadian and British and Australian customer like me. And if he gets the approval of the Chinese government, he could get 10 new followers for everyone like me he lost. That's the smart play. That's the way to finally beat Facebook, who are banned in China too. Jack's no dummy. He wants to be rich, richer than Zuckerberg. China, Iran, North Korea, there are a lot more people there to sign up than there are at stupid little dangerous speech projects like this one. Am I right?